Hello there and welcome to our look. Let's have a little look-see what's going on here. Sort of, hello, have a look, have a little butchers.
That's the official name.
That's the official name. Some gameplay for NieR Automata. It's out on PlayStation 4 soon and it's looking pretty sexy, and we just want to take you through it. I'm Rich Walker, Don Pepiat.
Hello.
We're going to tell you some stuff about it. So this is the bunker that we start in. This is kind of your hub for 2B and 9S, who are the kind of main protagonists.
The android stars of the show, right?
Exactly, the heroic android duo. You play as 2B, who's the female there, and you can get in your sort of combat suit, which she flies off in, but we can't really show it yet.
It's the thing that was at the end of the demo, right?
It was at the end of the demo, yeah. So yeah. If you play the demo, you'll know all about that. You can fly around and shoot in it and stuff. But anyway, our gameplay starts in the Resistance camp, which is part of the kind of open world. It's kind of where you start, kind of where you set off, and you take on a few side missions. You take on a story mission here. Just kind of gets you sort of settled in with things.
Is it the kind of standard JRPG setup where you got a hub and you got a few things to do, and everything kind of goes towards a bigger goal, right?
Yeah. So if you play the demo, that's kind of your opening. That's your big kind of spectacular boom. This is NieR. Look at the big genre mashup stuff we do. You can shoot stuff and you can do this and that, and then it kind of settles down a bit into kind of more traditional sort of platinum game action, albeit kind of open world and sort of JRPG stuff. So you got dialogue, you can have a chat and stuff. But obviously, at the core of it all is the action, the
Bayonetta-esque kind of vanquishy, you know.
Exactly. The swords and spears and great swords and such and such.
Absolutely. So what is the Resistance? It's they're fighting off machines, right? They've taken over Earth, and that's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah, the whole kind of concept for not concept, the conceit, if you will. The narrative conceit is extraterrestrial robots have kind of invaded, and you're tasked with kind of getting rid of them, I guess.
Exterminating them.
Yeah. So this guy's a weapons dealer. We're just before we can use him and buy weapons off him, he wants us to do something for him. Typical selfish bastard. You do something for me, I'll do something for you.
Is it go here and get the thing for me?
Go here and get me the things, please. Yes. Same with this guy. So he's a supply trader. You can buy basic things off him, like you can buy animal feed to lure animals, etc., which you'll see later on. This is just a little bit of fishing I thought I'd show you. I'm not very successful with it. I'm not quite 100% sure how it works. You kind of throw your pod into the body of water and he'll look for fish. I had a couple of instances where he'd find a fish, but then you'd reel him back in and he'd lost the fish. And I was like, how does it work?
I hope you can equip the fish once you catch one.
Well, I don't know what the fish for. I guess you sell them maybe, or maybe you can craft something with them. I don't know. But
eat them for health maybe, you know.
Possibly health item. But this is our first bit of combat, so yeah, like you say, it's kind of Bayonetta-esque. Obviously, Platinum Games excel at this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forget the Platinum Games who made the Turtles game and Legend of Korra or whatever. This is obviously the A team doing this, because it's really cool. The combat's really, really good. Really kick-ass, speedy, responsive. It just feels meaty, feels good.
A ridiculous amount of movesets and stuff as well, right? Every set of weapons, every combination of weapons, and they all have different impacts.
Absolutely. I mean, you can have two loadouts at any one time. So I started with the most basic loadouts. So I've got this Katana Blade Virtuous Contract, and I've got the kind of punches and kicks, which is sort of my bare-handed thing. And you can change your pod's loadout too, so I'm kind of messing around seeing what I've got here. Nice. Not much at the moment, unfortunately. I'm also trying to figure out how I can ride this moose, because I want to ride the moose. So I'm talking to 9S. Does he have anything to say? No. 9S, you talk to him, you can set your combat approach, so whether you're balanced or aggressive or whatever you want.
You send him in to die, and you can take a long stance if you want to, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's all sorts of options, so many options. But I figured out eventually that you got to put down this animal bait.
Oh my
and
god!
Once the moose goes for it, you can climb aboard on the back of a moose and ride around.
There's a moose loose in this.
It's amazing.
I love the camera just positions itself slightly.
Yeah, just a bit of a flick of the skirt up.
Traditional
so see a bit of her arse.
Have you seen that if you let the camera idle, or if you try and intentionally go down there, she'll bat the camera away?
Really? I bet there's going to be a trophy attached to that, like there was in Lollipop Chainsaw, right, for perving up her skirt. So I get off the moose here to pick up an item. only to realise that you can't get back on. So be warned, folks. Top tip. Once you're on the back of a moose, make sure you're sure you want to get off before you leave it, because you can't get back on. Make the most of it. Thank you, Dom. Excellent as always with the puns there. Cheers for that.
So this whole area, it seems like you got the mini map, obviously, which is I guess showing around. Is that icon on it where your objective is? The little glow?
So the orange glow area, yeah, that's the area where your quest is, and the black little diamonds are enemies. The white ones are kind of allies, so like the moose is that white diamond I've left behind there.
Okay, cool.
So it's fairly easy to read, straightforward.
Moose is an ally, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. He's your buddy, man. He's your friend. He's your moose friend.
A moose friend, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's fairly straightforward.
It's all running at 60 as well, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, 60 frames, I believe.
Which is nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It's slick, man.
I guess for combat like that, you're going to want as much responsiveness as you can. So
yeah, and
makes sense.
I'll say it again, I love the combat. I could just play it over and over. We're going to have a dungeon video, like a little 2-minute sort of short look at the dungeon, because that's how long I lasted. With some different weapons and stuff. We were given some other weapons to play with, so look out for that video soon.
You were talking about the pod. He can do things like when you upgrade him, you can have like the devil arm from Devil May Cry, right? Where you can grab them and bring them in.
I didn't know that. That sounds really cool. So yeah, the pod is basic loadout is the Gatling gun. It kind of pays to have that locked on and wearing down enemies the whole time. But if you can have a devil bringer arm, that sounds awesome.
Because you can get one where you can go to them, or one that can bring them to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that sounds like amazing. But the guy, what pod as he is, he's good for the bullet hell sections, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he sort of eliminates those projectiles quite nicely. Thins the bullet hellness of it. But parrying as well is kind of the core of the combat, as you probably saw then. I don't know if I did any parrying. I think I did. So timing and stuff, you want to bat an enemy attack away and smash them. So these consoles, I should sort of tell you, clear the robots away from those and you can use them as save points, and they also update your map.
Oh, okay.
And the way the save system works is, if you're within the vicinity, kind of the wireless signal of these, saving's possible.
That's
so you
really
unlock
cool.
all the map information. It'll say saving possible in the corner. You can't see it because our faces are over it. But in the corner, trust us, under our faces it says
it's like a little 3-bar signal thing, right?
Yeah. So that shows you in the area, and you can save anywhere within that area. It's sort of a novel kind of twist on the save system.
And so I imagine the further out you get, the less signal you have, right?
The signal drops and you can't save anymore. Yes, so you've got to sort of save at the right times. You can either save at the console itself or within the vicinity thereof.
That's a really I like that the most about NieR games. They're very that's a good parry.
Thanks. Yeah. So you whip them into the air and smash them. Collect bits.
But that's what I really do like about the NieR games. They're willing to deconstruct kind of tropes and stuff. The first one did it. This one's going to do it. Apparently, I saw recently that half the game's content unlocks after you finish it.
Really? So, wow. Well, there you go.
The original you had to finish, 4 or 5 times before you actually got the proper ending?
This one has multiple endings as well, I believe. So prepare to do the same thing again. And I don't think this is going to be a small game. It strikes me as something that's going to be pretty substantial.
Very ambitious, right?
I mean, this area alone, this kind of desolate sort of city ruin, is pretty big in itself. And then you've got deserts and stuff to contend with later on, as you'll see, because we kind of kick onto those later. This is me just looking for the spare parts for the side quests, by the way. I'm not wandering aimlessly.
So that glide as well, that's really nice. Where you jump and jump again, and you can
grab your pod and have a little glide, which is cool. That's not what I'm after.
Oh.
I'm like, where is it?
There are so many items as well. So many just like varied things. Like a plant seed. What does that do? Who knows? Can't wait to find out all this stuff.
Who knows? Stuff scattered all over the place. So yeah, at least it's easy to find. It's kind of glowing yellow.
Yeah, right.
So and I'm sure they all have their uses.
It's funny because you see a lot of RPGs nowadays, they go into a lot more kind of detail with this sort of stuff, but I quite like the old-fashioned kind of, here is a glowing item.
Yeah,
exactly. It makes it simple. There's no kind of guff you have to kind of filter through.
No running around aimlessly, although I'm still sort of running around aimlessly here. So,
at least you've got moose friends to keep you company.
Yeah, and you can admire the sort of desolate landscape, right?
Yeah, right. I think it's
post-apocalyptic cityscape.
The whole aesthetic of this game and the first one as well, it's really nice. The kind of, it's very lush and vibrant and verdant.
Yeah.
And yet there's a kind of industrial side to it as well, like all the androids and stuff and all the robot kind of stuff that goes on.
Absolutely.
Did you die at all during this demo?
Only in the dungeon, which you're going to see tomorrow. That's why, well, not tomorrow necessarily, but soon. That's why it's only like a 2.5 minute video, because they put me down there with like massively over-leveled enemies, and I was like, oh my god, and I sort of tried to hold my own as long as I could.
Sounds wonderfully platinum.
Yeah, it's very, very platinum.
I have heard that if you die, because she's a robot basically, her consciousness is uploaded into another body.
Yeah.
And then you can go out and find the body that you died in.
Well, she comes. Oh, really? When you respawn, she comes out of one of those machines that I showed you earlier.
Oh, like a vend. She's vended.
Yeah, she's like vended out of the machine. I guess she's sent down from the bunker or something.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? They kind of 3D print a new body for her.
No, exactly. That must be it. So yeah, and you can go back to the bunker at any time, and you know.
That's really cool.
Have a little run around there if you fancy.
I imagine it's going to be cool. I like that. I like hub worlds in games. Not enough games do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, no. Well, any of those consoles you can transport back to the bunker, I believe.
That's really cool.
So this is me turning in this side quest, so now I can buy weapons off this guy if I want. So yeah, here we go. Hey, it's you. Yeah, I just saw you 2 seconds ago. So yeah, we get a nice little reward there.
Rusted clump.
Some 5,000 Gs, bit of XP. And if we ever want to buy weapons off him, he's there now,
Nice.
so that's good.
So is that other things like, can you get more powerful katanas, or is it just variations of different kinds of weapons?
I think you get new weapons, variations of weapons, all sorts.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no.
God, I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into this one. It seems like there's such a depth to it, especially in the combat and how it all revolves around the combat in a way.
Last thing, I love the combat, man. I mean, this could have been a linear game with just this sort of combat, and I'd be happy. But sort of couple that with open world JRPG bits.
Yeah, right. It's a kind of genre mashup we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
Because you look at the games like this, like you say Vanquish, Bayonetta, DMC, or Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
They're all linear.
Do you know what I suppose Final Fantasy 15 in a way was trying to sort of go a bit more deep with its combat system in a similar kind of way to this. So yeah, I suppose that's the closest we've come to date. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say that's true. I'd say it's true. Yeah, but this again, the combat wasn't done by Platinum.
No,
so we're gonna have
that's
a marked step up. And
so
also,
I didn't get enough moose the first time round. So yeah, I'm back on the moose. I don't know what the orange jelly is, but he seems to like it. So yeah, I'm going to show exactly weird sort of nondescript orange gelatin moose feed stuff. Don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm going to show you something else you can do with the moose, which is pretty cool.
Oh god!
So you think, oh no, I'm going to have to get off and like fight enemies, aren't I?
No.
Or am I?
Can you ram them with the moose?
Am I?
Oh my gosh!
Maybe. Oh yeah, bosh.
That's just some pretty gnarly damage as well.
Yeah, right. It's almost half his health off.
He's got a turn and circle of a bus, but
yeah. Well, this is it. I was like, oh, I want to turn and ram them again. So I'm sort of struggling here. So I get him a couple more times. He's almost dead.
I like the way Android friend is trying desperately to keep up.
Yeah, he's trying to keep up. Come back!
He should have got his own moose, man.
Yeah, exactly. You should have thought.
Riding down the road on a pair of meese.
Yeah, it's like animal bait's not that expensive, mate. You should have bought some, shouldn't you? So yeah, I spend quite a little while sort of running around.
Yeah, I like the way you're level 5 and you've got a level 9 moose on you as well.
Yeah, I've got a badass level 9 moose. He's better than I am. He's more experienced and more proficient.
I wonder if later on in the game there are other animals to ride.
I would have thought so.
Right, because animal bait is not moose bait, is it?
Exactly. It sort of suggests that there's going to be more animals to ride. What they could be, I don't know. Will there be flying animals? I really don't know. I'm genuinely not sure.
I can't wait.
But I played loads of this. I played like 2 hours and I had to cut out so much cool stuff that I wanted to show you.
It's quite well timed, that.
Yeah, so anyway, we can move on to the desert now. I played so much. Yeah, and I wanted to show more. So there's different enemies, these weird sort of...
The tower shield guys.
Sort of Jenga tower ones. And they're really easy to kill. They don't really do much.
I love the design of them, their aesthetic.
They're weird, aren't they?
The way that all the enemy types, they're all different, but they've all got that unifying look, that kind of round-headed. Like Taro, the guy that directs it, he always comes out in his round head thing, doesn't he?
The round-headed mask. But yeah, you'll see some sort of variations on those enemies in a bit. Some that have kind of taken on some human characteristics. Later on in the demo.
Interesting.
That I played. But yeah, I did like a sort of really cool boss battle and stuff that I'm not allowed to show, obviously because of story spoilers. I did some more shooty bits that I wasn't allowed to share.
Can you talk about the boss stuff? I guess
not really. No, unfortunately.
Just
not without spoiling anything.
It's in the style of the demo one. It's this massive oil rig come to life, kind of typical.
This was on a smaller scale than that. I mean, that thing was just crazy. Yeah. I mean, and the massive kind of saw wheel things that you had to take on as well. Yeah, I didn't encounter anything like that, but I imagine there's probably more stuff like that in the full game.
Invariably, right? Though.
Yeah,
always is something ludicrously big to take down. So.
Yeah, so that was a character called Jackass anyway that I was talking to, and she opened this sealed gate for me. So yeah, a lot of stumbling as well.
Yeah, I noticed the stumbling. There you go.
Little rock there. So she really reacts to the terrain perhaps a little bit too much. I'm not sure.
Look at these guys.
So yeah, these are the guys I'm talking about. So they wear like weird tribal masks, sort of representing like face paint. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, what have they been up to? How have they acquired these characteristics and these sort of clothes and stuff? Why are they doing that?
They're taking on a more kind of human aesthetic, aren't they?
Yes, it's really odd. So you're chasing one of those throughout this kind of section, and he leads you to the sort of next area, which again I had to kind of stop.
It opens up like
But
that.
look at the size of this. I mean, it's fairly featureless desert, which deserts generally are, I guess.
It's true to life.
But
yeah.
I mean, you could sort of roam. The sand's sure is slippery, certainly. You could roam across this for ages, but
Yeah, right.
we're going to cut some combat. So you got to eliminate these robots. That's the mission for this one. So, yeah, we get to kick a bit more ass.
God, what I like about this is it's kind of got a level of mystery now and intrigue as well. It's like, why have they done this? Are they kind of emulating human society? What's going on? This is
What
really...
is it? I mean, I can't show any sort of story spoilers, like the stuff the robots are saying to you while you're fighting them.
Oh, really? Okay, so they talk
really
as well.
carefully cut around it, 'cause they're chatting the whole time. It's like they're saying really odd things.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I just saw the aerial combat there as well, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to mastering this. It's going to be very exciting.
Oh yeah, very cool. I mean, you know that circle prompt that's coming up before they sort of die? I was able to pull off a few of those as well.
Do like finishing moves, right?
Yeah, and it sort of does a sort of execution animation, but I had to cut those out because the robots were talking while I was doing it. It was like, no!
I'm proper excited for this one.
But yeah, this is out March 7th, I believe, for PlayStation 4. NieR Automata. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Cheers,
See ya.
guys.